Welcome to another edition of This Week in Pioneer Soccer with head coach Jamie Franks. I'm Nico Blankenship. Jamie, just a little summer check-in. You got camps going on here this week. The guys' graduation was last weekend. The guys are home for the summer, at least for a month or so. Just kind of talk about the state of the program at the moment.
Yeah, state of the program is a little bit of downtime. These guys being in a quarter system where you do 3 10-week sprints is a little bit different than semesters. And so our guys just took finals first week of June, just finished up finals, hoping, to have a high team GPA again. So that's always based on everybody's individual success. And then, we've got about 2 or 3 weeks where they kind of go off and do their own thing. They go back home, they chill out, but this is really like a downloading time, where they can kind of get their legs back under them, refocus. And then after July 4th is, when a lot of the team comes back, which is just really, really exciting. It's exciting to get all the newcomers in. It's exciting to get their physicals. They kind of run captain's practice, in the summer. And I think it's just a great time for the team to kind of figure out who their leaders are and their communication styles and their ambition every day is built from the top players. The top players, their motivation, their work ethic, their kind of grit on the day sets the tone for the rest of the season. And so, we always joke, but you can tell the success of your team by when you get them on that first day. And you can kind of see, their togetherness, their ability to work and kind of push each other, push the standards. So just excited to kind of be at the time where we can kind of take a step back, take a breather, but know that the race is near, to know that we're getting closer. And so just really, really excited about this group.
How different is that in a year like this year, where you really only lost one key piece of the puzzle in Teston Normand? Obviously the captain's practices, which you're not directly involved in, but then when they come to get to you on August 8th, you kind of have to feel good that it's pretty much the same team that you just let go here in the spring with only missing the one piece.
Yeah, our model is development. And so that's a little bit different. A lot of other programs are relying on, recruiting, and then they, recruit and blow it up and recruit and blow it up. Ours is very much a developmental model. And so I feel great about having the kids one year older, one more year mature. And I think the tough reality for us last year was our attack lacked quality. Our attack lacked, lack something. And so we believe that that's a total team effort. It's not just one player that does that. It's not just a few players. It's the team. It's the system. And so, we took a hard look at ourselves over the winter break and have been addressing a lot of that stuff. And we had a really good, spring for goals and a lot of guys improving their games. And so it makes you feel good, mostly because I think we'll be a little bit further along with certain principles of our play and certain values. And ultimately, their learning will come from each other. And so if I have players that have been through it and have experienced it, they'll be teaching each other. And no matter how many times you say it, that the game is won in the margins and it's the small details and to see how kind of last season played out, with only 3 losses going to an NCAA tournament, you got to go play the 11th team in the country. It shows that there were games that were the Stanford game at home. You tie that game 1-1. The SMU game you're winning. On the road, you get those 2 results. All of a sudden, you're at home for the first round game. You get one more result, you get a bye. And no matter how many times the staff says that, for the players to experience that and feel that and see that we lost to the national champion on a bad penalty kick call, some of that is a little bit, that's how the game goes and how sport is. But another part of it is just, I'm still pissed talking about it. I'm still fired up. I'm fired up for the guys about it because I think they got it was unjust. And that fire sticks with you and that motivation. And so the team's got like a couple wrongs to right. And I think that's what I'm most excited about, is that I found like we finally have that chip on our shoulder again a little bit.
Well, two key points from that. You have that chip on the shoulder and the fire in the belly, and you have a schedule for them to go show how good they think they are and the best in the country, and be able to compare against those teams that are highly ranked in the country. You play 8 from the top 100 in the non-conference, plus Oral Roberts finished in the top 100 last year. So you got 9 in the top 100 on the schedule. You have home games in that mix against Oregon State, who finished second in the RPI last year, Portland, who finished 29th, and Oral Roberts, like I mentioned, finished 77th in the RPI. And just, I mean, how exciting is that coming up here, that you have this deep returning team, this team that's hungry to right the wrongs that they felt were done against them last year, and you have this great schedule to compare where you are in that heading into next year's NCAA tournament.
Yeah, listen, since even in 2012, I want to say since 2012, the only 2 years that Denver hasn't participated in the NCAA tournament, our team, our wins with, I think, 11 wins. I think in both of those years since 2012, we've only not made the NCAA tournament twice, and both of those times we've had 11 wins. And so that's an RPI thing. That's a strength of schedule thing. And after that 2017 year, we learned the math equation a little bit better. What does it actually mean to have a high winning percentage compared to strength of schedule to opponent's strength of schedule? And so for us, it's as basic as that. That's how the formula gets played out. And for us, we just want to go and challenge ourselves against the best teams, the best venues, and find some adversity. Because for you to win knockout games, you have to go through adversity during the year. Could you play an easier schedule and win 15, 16 games a year? Sure. But, our ultimate goal is to win a national championship. And we think the RPI, putting ourselves in a better seed, home games, buys, all those things, that does that. But most of all, it's just about finding adversity and making sure that we're really testing ourselves so we can grow and get better.
Yeah, I think about the quarterfinal night at Clemson in 2016. You could also obviously say the second round night this past year, and you get those experiences in the regular season when you go to a place like Georgetown, or you go to a place like Maryland, or you go to Pitt, or you go to Virginia again. Has to help in recruiting too. I mean, at the end of the day, these guys want to come in here and show that they're some of the best players in the country against some of the best teams in the country.
Yeah, I think it's a challenge. I think Oral Roberts and Omaha have done a great job, and now you got Kansas City in our conference who's doing a good job. But it is hard. It is hard sometimes to look at your RPI with you win a game and you move down the RPI. That's tough. And I think for recruiting purposes, our idea is that we're going to try to go and play the best teams in the best venues, and having a smaller conference gives you a bigger out of conference schedule, and it gives you more flexibility to try to go to these different places and challenge yourself. So just feel really grateful that the University of Denver supports us, the way that they do. And ultimately, there's been some donors too that have kind of come through and really have helped us with some of our travel, just making our travel accommodations better, or the flights and things like that. So just can't be, thankful enough, really.
Well, for all our fans, head to denverpioneers.com, check out that schedule, come out and join us at a game here this fall. And Jamie, we'll talk to you soon.
Go Pios.